When health and safety became a thing, they came and spoke to us and said, actually, if this did break the vats of wax, would it flood Liverpool? And someone said, yeah, probably, as a bit of a Liverpool joke. So they very quickly then asked us to move out of Liverpool. So the business started in actually 1905, so it's been established since 1882, but it was actually registered as a company in 1905. And originally we were in Vernon Street, which is now where the Premier Inn is. And this was the original Meccano factory. Meccano made the toys. So they gave us a good reason to leave the centre of Liverpool, and we came here in '69. So we've been here since 1969, which is amazing. I've actually been here 36 years this year, so I joined as a cabinet maker, and I've just worked my way through the business over the years. So when I joined, there was 4 directors, and they all told me that in 20 years' time, I could be running this factory. And I thought, oh, great. And actually, that's exactly what happened. Mr. Hayes and Mr. Finch originally started the business, and the Hayes family, after about 20 years, were quite keen to get out of the business. They wanted an exit strategy to just leave, but the Finch family were quite keen to keep it going. But because the name was quite well established, then they just kept the name of Hayes and Finch. So I'm not a family member, but it was originally run by and owned by the family. They originally had this idea of making soap, but then it became very clear very quickly that making soap and making candles were the same process. So they very quickly shifted then their focus to make candles for churches. So that's how it all started. Just 2 people probably sat in a pub and decided just to start a business, and there we are all these years later. So the business originally it was really good because there wasn't that much competition, so the business grew really rapidly, and then obviously they had the wars, and then all the rations, so people would queue. So I've been told the stories of back in the 70s when there was I think there was an electrical strike or something, and there was people queuing all the way up Hampton Road to the top, and they were just selling candles all day. So, you know, the business, although it's supplied to the church for all these years, it's also supplied to residentials as well, you know, people's homes. I think probably for us, the change was in the pandemic. So the churches closed completely in 2020, which meant our business had to close as well. So all the staff were furloughed and everyone was away from the business. But there was no way I was going to stay at home. And even my wife said, "You're not going to stay at home." I said, "No, I'll find a way." So we came in and worked because we just received palm. So I'll take you and show you the palm. So palm arrived from Spain, but it has to be ordered 9 months in advance because it has to grow. So we'd just taken delivery of palm leaves in February 2020. So we had to get that palm out to customers because that's what we were doing. So church was then phoning me and saying, "I don't really need the palm because the churches are closed." And I was like, "I'm sorry, but 9 months ago, I did not know that. So, you know, that palm is coming to you." So I think that then started the road of trying to recover in the business, because it was really tough. So churches then reopened about 9 months later, then closed again. So I think they opened up for Christmas, then closed again, then they opened up again for Easter, then closed again. And we just had to ride that terrible storm. So we make everything in woodwork as well. So we make pews, we make everything you see in a church, but we also do some domestic furniture as well. We have a metal shop as well. We make everything that you see in the church, but we also do that as well for the likes of town halls or stately homes. We do some renovation work for that. So we've had to look for all that extra business around. We have a vestment room that makes all the clothing, but then we've diversified that business as well. And we actually make the candle wick that goes in the candle. So we now sell that to other candle companies and sell that around the world. So there's only about 6 wick manufacturers in the world, and we're one of them. So we work with both the Anglican and the Catholic cathedrals, and then all the local churches around there as well. So we'll make them Pascal candles that I showed you before. We'll make about 3,000 of them, which goes up and down the country. It's quite an in-depth process. So we have to start that really early as well, and we have to try and market that really early to the customers, because we always give them choice so that they can choose what they want. But then obviously Easter's Easter, there's no movement on that. So when that's going to happen, we've got to have everything ready and dispatched out to all the customers around the UK. Because everyone thinks that Christmas is going to be the busiest time, but actually Christmas isn't. It's Easter, and we're really busy because we bring some seasonal items in for Easter that we don't bring in at Christmas. So palm is definitely one of them, and Pascal candles is another. So it's a whole process that's brought into the factory. Palm arrives from Spain, which arrived on Friday, and then we have to distribute that palm out to all the customers around the UK. It's just nice to be part of something that you can see. I mean, I do go to church every Sunday at St Monica's in Liverpool, so it's nice to see our products that we manufacture here then being used within the church environment. And you can switch off sometimes from your day job to stuff you do outside of work, but certainly for me, walking into the church then and seeing all of the products that we manufacture here then being used within the church environment and for the masses is actually quite important, and it's nice to be part of that whole process. So.